All right, so once again, now this is actually Stream Elements issue and not mine, unfortunately. I can't blame it on YouTube. But finally, we are definitely live. Hey, if you're watching this, don't forget to check me out at twitter.com/lore reloaded or twitch.com/lore reloaded. And, of course, twitch.tv/lore reloaded. Man, I'm sorry. This OBS just threw me for an absolute loop. Hope all you guys are doing well. We got Alan Wakefield in the house. Always a pleasure to see you, good sir. Someone else said hello, but I hit the refresh button. Oh, R. McDudd said hello. Will Lozone, who turned off his audiobook to be here. So, I mean, I am just, beyond thankful that you did that for me, sir. Thank you so much. Let me know what you guys think about this new layout. I'll probably be messing with it in the near future and definitely be making my background look a little bit more decent. But I figured it looked a lot better if I was just full person versus the in the little window with nothing else going on. That just didn't seem as fun. Didn't seem right. Birdo Prey 5, hope you're doing well, sir. A good kabla to you as well. So I'm not really sure how interesting or fun John DeMarco, Silver 82802, and Mr. Captain 93. I'm not really sure how well this one's going to go. I'm going a little bit off of the beaten path and kind of expanding just a little bit to have more of a conversation that doesn't just have something Star Trek in it. But of course, because of the channel, all you guys ever want is Star Trek, so I guess we're going to see how it goes, The first thing I want to talk about is something that I found out last live stream, but it was kind of weird. Yeah, YouTube is a silly place. Also, Charles Ryan Lee, AE, my eyes. Yeah, I know, you get to see me, right? Apparently, Star Wars Explained, a channel I have had no interaction with. To my knowledge, I've had no interaction with. Possibly I have. But as far as I'm aware, I've had absolutely no interaction with this channel. Decided to block me on Twitter for whatever reason. So I, for the fun of it, decided to do a little bit of research to see what exactly was going on. And apparently, Star Wars Explained, again, who I don't even know if they're aware of my existence, joined a block list in where they just went ahead and decided to block certain people who were following certain other people. So basically, they thought that it was best that, hey, let's do guilty by association. It's interesting because this just shows me that in the Star Wars fandom, in the Star Wars society, at least on YouTube, you're seeing almost the exact same thing that you see in the Star Trek culture for like all intents and purposes. If someone, not if you disagree with someone, not if you don't like what they say or you think they're toxic, if they follow somebody you don't like, if they, and in this case, for Star Wars Explained, it's only that I was following someone else. To my knowledge, they have no idea what my channel's about or what I believe. But the need for, just the need for guilt by association is just absolutely mind-boggling to me and annoying, because I think it's a symptom of what we're seeing all over the place, And I'm open to discussion. If you guys disagree, you think they're right, or you think there's more to it, then let me know. But like when we see with the quote-unquote fandom menace, I guess, when we see the different interactions between channels like, I mean, pick anybody, and even in the Trek sphere, like with Katwalski and Midnight's Edge. There's a good Fourth Eye Sheep subscribing. Thanks for joining the channel. There's a good point there. There's a good, I guess, example. So Catwalski went after Midnight's Edge for disagreeing with him. He went pretty hard, and he was insulting in some instances, I honestly believe. And I told him this. I told him all this to his face, so it's not anything that'd be new. So here's my Midnight's Edge, their response, at least one person on there. Here's what they did. So on channels that went and attacked Catwalski, they were all gung-ho. And I forget the name. I think his name was Captain something or other. Captain April. On his channel, he went pretty hard on Catwalski, which is fair. Catwalski went pretty hard on Midnight's Edge, and he disagrees. They responded on their channel by saying that, you know, they agree, they're absolutely wrong, they'd love to have a conversation with him. So I go on Twitter and I challenge them, and then at that point they back off and say that they don't want to, and they associate it that I'm doing it just because it's attacking my friend or I want fame or whatever, even though I'm pretty good with what I got right now. There is a good ending to that to a degree. They do have a conversation, though they didn't do it live. I think they should have. They did have a conversation, and Catwalski kind of went over his thoughts on that. But that's just indicative of everything we see, where we're all staying within our little bubbles. One of the reasons I think that I'm not as popular is because I won't choose a side. I refuse to. I like what I like, and I don't like what I don't like. And I'm friends with people on both sides. It doesn't really bother me what you believe, as long as we can be decent to each other. Taking a look at what you guys are saying, though. The Alita Army versus Bree-bots, yeah, that's a problem. It's just people who want to control other people and feel accomplished without working towards anything, then dragging other people down. I would disagree to a... I disagree with that to a... I would disagree with that to a degree. And why I would disagree with that is kind of simple. When you're on YouTube and you have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, like I only have 60 some thousand, but when you have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, you get two really distinct reactions. You get very, very positive, oh my god, you're the best that's ever happened, I would literally sell my kids for you. And you get, wow, you should, I am being honest here, kill yourself. You are so low. Your opinion is so bad. I actually had someone comment that I was so ugly that the only way I had kids was to be sexually assaulted. That no one would ever want to have sex with me unless they forced it on me and then had my kids. That was a really creative insult. I'll give him that. It was exceptionally creative. So when you're in that bubble, when you're in that mindset, it's really easy just to make it a them versus us mentality. It is exceptionally easy. Brie Larson donating $2. Thank you so much. That is the actual Brie Larson. For those who don't know, I cannot stand the Marvel movies, but Brie Larson and I are actually big buddies. We're huge fans of each other. Definitely ship Lore Reloaded and Brie Larson. That's truth. How did I get that and I don't get an update? Maybe that was a tip. I guess that would have had to have been a tip. Well, thank you so much, Brie Larson. I appreciate it. Always good to see you, girl. So it's really easy just to choose one side or the other, especially when you just have to deal with it constantly. So that, getting into that. Oh, and she said, keep up the good work, Lore. I finally see it here. Yay, I will keep up the good work. I'm surprised it didn't actually say the word, though. It should, if you're tipping that way, should actually say it. So I'll work on that. I'm sorry. It should have actually said it. But you keep up the good work, Brie, and stop working for Marvel. They're just writing you horribly. So I understand, but it's just unfortunate, and I think it's the wrong way to go. with Facebook, I didn't even want a profile page. I just wanted to create a creators page where I would discuss sci-fi and people could like the page and follow. Well, Dan23, you should do that. Midnight's Edge gets off too much on skirting the line between not political and make Star Wars great again, where alt emperor. I don't see Midnight's Edge as very alt-right. Are they actually? Of course, I don't watch them as much as I used to. I don't really see it. I don't know. Charles Ryan Lee, you don't get insulted. You're beautiful, baby. Beautiful. So, going back to the conversation that we were discussing beforehand and getting into it, you won't even see interactions between Ketwalski and Mecha or Doomcock or anything like that. I'm actually friends with Mecha. Talk to her ever so often. Doomcock, I'm still friends with. I don't really talk to him all that much. But I will admit there is something to having issues or not wanting to go outside of the norm or not wanting to talk against a channel. I do have some trepidation when I want to discuss things that other channels are talking about, because drama is the lifeblood to a degree sometimes of YouTube. Generally, the way to really get quick views and quick subs is to go all out drama one way or the other. And so it's really easy to get pulled into that. Like stupid easy to get pulled into that. Anyone who even questions their insanity is alt-right. Okay. Hello Reload, that's absolutely fracked up. The world's gray, not black and white. People should have their opinions, but share them civilly. Good morning, James. How are you? I'm doing well, buddy. Hope you're doing well. I would agree that the world is black and white. Generally, you don't have one way or the other. There are subjects where you're an absolute right or an absolute wrong. I don't think most are like that. When it comes to Star Trek Discovery, I think it's like that. I don't think that it's all one way or all another. I think you can sit there and be annoyed. By the way, 70 people watching and only 15 likes. You guys come on here to watch me. I dance for you. I dance. This is not the easiest thing to do, to have topics or to think your thoughts or put yourself out here. I'm dancing as hard as I can, and I only get 17 likes. Only. No, 15 likes. I stand correct. I stand completely corrected. Hit that like button. Hit it. Hit it like you love it. Yeah, I don't know. I was shilling too much. I forgot where I was going with that. I don't know. I don't know what I was saying. Actually, I personally believe that things are more simpler than people can see, says Charles Ryan Lee. That's what I was talking about. There is a middle ground. There absolutely is a middle ground that can be found on most things. Star Trek Discovery, I think there's a middle ground. I think that you can say, I really don't like the series because they say it's in continuity, and then they go out of their way to insult you by not making it in continuity. They rewrite the way Vulcans work to a degree. They have them do actions that don't make any sense. They focus on Michael Burnham and basically make her as close to a Mary Sue as you can get. Definitely badly written. They have story structures that aren't consistent with what we saw before. And we have implied sexual assault. We have definitive death and destruction. We have mass slaughter. And all of this is seen on screen. It is as close to the edge of PG-13 as you can get, if not being past PG-13. These are all things. That said, I mean, the aesthetics are very, very cool to see. There are good character building moments here and there. Stories can be compelling, and there are moments of greatness. There are episodes where it really feels like it could be Star Trek. It really just feels great. But you can't do that. You can't do that. You have to say Star Trek Discovery is not only so bad, look at the people in the background. They're paying off judges. You have to go and go to that extreme. I don't know. Just got here and saw you fishing for likes. I'm out. See you later, Cinema Cowboy. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Hit that unsubscribe button, too. Leo Interver, you shillin' worked for me. I licked the like button. Well, good deal. I won't watch Discovery because I despise some of the things in it. That's fair. I think a group of YouTubers could get together to release videos on one subject per month. There are channels that do that, but why? Midnight's Edge does that to a degree. I don't know. Anybody remember when Lore said he would get a Michael Burnham tattoo once he hit 10,000 subscribers? I don't remember. I didn't say Michael Burnham. For dang sure I didn't say that. I don't watch Star Trek Discovery because it's a complete wreck of a show, and I watched 4 seasons of DS9. Well, there you go. This is why I look forward to Picard, because if nothing else, Star Trek is building forward again. I hope so. I am I'm cautiously optimistic that they're going back to where they were. But there's no guarantee of that, unfortunately. I think that Star Trek Picard will... they either could rebuild it, or it's going to be basically what we saw in Discovery. I don't think it's either or. Wasn't subscribed, stuck around a little bit because I thought I was being too hasty. Guess I was right the first time. Why are you still coming back, Cinema Cowboy? Hey, Cinema Cowboy, if you really don't like me, then you need to stop commenting, because the more you comment, the more it's actually going to support me and make other people see it. So, buddy, I'm going to win no matter what here. But you got a choice, because I'm calling you out right now. You can choose either to respond, or you can choose not to respond. If you respond, you only help the channel. If you don't respond, I get the last word. Welcome to my house. Now get the fuck out. All right, with that said, let's see what you guys are talking about. Lore Reloaded. No, Lore, you said you would tattoo yourself with Justin Bieber at 50,000. I did say that. 50,000 likes specifically. I've never gotten 50,000 likes on a video, so when that happens, you know, there it is. See, here's what may be happening. The Cinema Cowboy may actually be trolling me, and he may have won. Because if you're a subscriber and you know how to mess with me, then you hit me, because I can be triggered like that. So he may have actually got the ultimate drop of the mic. So I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Picard will die, and the crew of the young hip kids will rename their ship the Picard. You see, I think that is absolutely ridiculous. I think that is not what's going to happen. But that is the catfishing that I was going to talk about. The problem is that, to me, it goes way too, that's just, CBS is not that stupid. There is no way that they would catfish in that way. I cannot see them. The only way that would happen is if Patrick Stewart died, honestly. They're not going to rename the ship the Picard. I just don't see. That's as likely as this. As them not having the actual Picard. Morning hidden trailer video. Morning lore is saucier than night lore. I like to relax on Twitter things. Anyway, sorry. It's as likely them renaming the ship Picard and then not having Patrick Stewart on it is as likely as Patrick Stewart is not as likely as it would be as likely as Patrick Stewart being a hologram. You know? I gotta stop reading your stuff while I'm trying to talk. I just want to see what you were talking about today. Trolling was not on my agenda. Chill out, dude. Dude, I am so, triggered at the moment. I'm so angry. Cinema Cowboy. I can't contain myself. I don't have anything soft to throw. Oh. That happened. Picard will be portrayed as either a doddering fool or a jaded cynic. I'm not convinced on Star Trek Picard. The problem with Star Trek Picard is that Patrick Stewart is, people are going to get mad at this, just too old. He just is. And so they're going to sit here and try to make him relevant when it's hard for him to do things even as an actor. And so he is going to have to take somewhat of a back seat in his own uh, show. I think they waited too long to make a Star Trek Picard. I honestly, honest to God, do. And that's going to impact the show because a lot of people are going to jump on that, right? There was a theory that Picard never left the Nexus in a video I watched earlier today. Yeah, I've seen that, and that came out before Star Trek Picard. That theory has been out there. I'm cautiously optimistic, but given his age, I don't see what he can do. I don't see how much more he can contribute, you know? If you guys think I'm wrong, let me know. Please tell me how I'm wrong. I would be very curious. Victor Snyder given $2. As you guys know, the way that I keep the lights on is through super chats, through tips, through paypal.me/Reloaded Studios. Thank you guys so much. I couldn't keep the lights on without you. Cinema Cowboy wins the internet today for trolling me effectively. You did very well. Though the sentiment stays, not necessarily for you, but people like you. I do that all the time. If somebody is like, I hate this channel, I'm not coming back, then why are you still... I win no matter what you do in this scenario. And that's with any, by the way, just for YouTubers, that's with any YouTube channel. If you want to hurt a YouTube channel, you want to make sure that it is taken away just a piece, ignore them. Honest to God. It doesn't feel as rewarding, but if you unsubscribe, you never look at them, and you never talk about them again, it is the worst thing you could ever do to a YouTube channel. Let's be fair, Picard wasn't known for being an adventurer, says Cinema Cowboy. That's another thing, and I guess it's fair, because one of the reasons I think the movies didn't do as well was because you're using a cast that was more known for being cerebral. So, I guess you could make the argument, that they're returning to their roots. They're going to try to be more cerebral. Now, some of the advertising doesn't seem to infer that. But that said, that goes back to what I talked about before. The next generation was an anomaly. It came out and people loved it, and the ratings were beyond what you would expect. All Star Trek series did exceptionally well in ratings, with the exception of Enterprise, which did really bad at the end. But TNG just blew everything out of the water. But I don't think that's what people want now. I don't think they want cerebral. You know? They can use CGI to make Picard far more skilled with martial arts and acrobatics. That just breaks the fourth wall too much, in my opinion. A 60-year-old man, 100 and whatever year old in the series, is able to do jiu-jitsu and everything. No. I hate to hate this channel. It triggers me to like it. I have to hate this channel. Well, there you go, Liam, as long as I'm here for you. I agree the actor is too old for the role. One thing I would have to look to see Picard to remain on the Enterprise as an explorer. They should have made him a ambassador. The fact that they didn't, I think, was a misstep. I don't get the impression from the marketing that Picard is going to be cerebral at all. It'll probably be like Discovery, just a century and a half later. Maybe. Here's the thing. Here's what people, I guess, get confused about, or here's where people go with this. Discovery wasn't bad because they have a lot of explosions. Discovery wasn't bad because it had brand new aesthetics, or even that it updated old technology. Enterprise did that. I think they could have done it more like Axanar. I think they could have been more true to it. That's not what makes it bad. It was the lying, the continuity, the identity politics, the forced sexual assault, the cursing, the things that just aren't Trek. That's what made it bad. If you're going to make Star Trek Picard and you keep the aesthetics, which look a lot better in this era, and you keep the explosion stuff, I don't know that that's horrible. JJ Verse wasn't that bad. I don't know. I don't know, maybe I'm off on that, you know? I'm trying to set the scene while I'm here. You know, I really should do that before I start talking to you guys. Howard Gleason helping out the channel. Thank you so much again. That's how I pay the bills. I was unaware of Star Wars Explained, but now I ignore it. Yeah, and going back to that for a second, you know how I say you ignore a channel and they'll die? I'm doing the exact opposite of that. Though, to be fair, I'm profiting off of their overreaction. So it's either or. So audiences don't want a thinking man's track, but Discovery, all lights and lasers, as is also somewhat unwanted. Maybe the fans don't know what they want. They want Norville. I would agree that when it comes to track, I don't think the fans know what they want, ultimately. I'm not I don't here's, and this goes back to the channels, right? And again, I'll say this: I actually really like Mecha Random. I think she's a cool person. I like Doomcock. The interactions I've had with him, Nerdrotics, is cool. I don't think there's anything Star Trek Picard could put out that those channels will like. And I think that those channels are representative of that part of the fan base. I don't think there's anything that part of the fan base will enjoy. I don't know about the channels, but that fan base specifically, I'll say this, and we'll never know. But I think if Orville came out as a Star Trek show, there would be a segment of that fan base that didn't like it. By the way, I learned that last night Kevin Feige is making a new Star Wars movie. I saw that too. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm being honest. Here's another idea I'll toss out. Picard as Commodore for a small fleet. The fleet is exploring the outer edge of known space. You know, again, and I think it was Cinema Cowboy who said this. I'm not sure who. This could be surreal. I think it would be interesting if there was a civil war in the Romulan Star Empire, and you have Picard having to deal with that not as a Starfleet officer. I think that could be interesting. You know? I don't know. I'd be curious your opinions. To quote my favorite song from Voltaire, Vulcan's been destroyed and the timeline has been crushed, so someone tell me why I love this film so much. I don't even remember Voltaire. So I don't even know. The Kelvin verse was a perfect way to share new stories set within time frames already jam-packed with events. I would agree. That's the one thing I haven't heard that song. I'll have to hear it. That's another thing that I liked about JJ Verse, and we've had this conversation, is that they were honest with you. They were like, hey, you know, this isn't going to be your grandpa's Trek. We're doing something completely new. And the continuity, you hardly ever, I honestly, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't remember continuity being a huge issue with that, with them rewriting. People may say, well, I don't like they're rewriting it, but that died down pretty quick. Because, again, you can enjoy it or hate it for what it is. Discovery didn't want that. The Romulan Empire was destroyed by the Hobus Star going super duper nova. It was. And that happened in canon, too. A lot of people get upset about that. But it'll be a buddy cop series. Picard and Q get up to the old guy antics. You know, a lot of people would love the hell out of that. I could not be... I could not be interested and have a tinge of excitement for a buddy cop episode. Like, I am so totally annoyed, and this kind of shows where we are as fans too. We get annoyed at what we are annoyed at, but we're okay with things that don't bug us, right? I could unironically be excited about a buddy cop show between Q and Picard that they try to set in continuity that would just destroy continuity. I don't know why. I think that would be awesome. But again, that shows me, because Discovery annoys me. The Nickelodeon show annoys me already, and I haven't seen anything about it. I just know they're completely breaking continuity with the story premise. And I'm still on the fence about Lower Decks for that very purpose too. But yeah, so But a buddy cop show between Q and Picard, oh, that'd just be excellent. They have to, I don't know why, but they have to do it kind of like what was it, Quantum Leap, where he has to take him, and they're hoping the next time they show up in the universe will be the last. Alamandorius, helping out the channel. Thank you so much for the support. Hey, man, we've talked in the comment sessions a couple of times. I don't always agree with you, but I do enjoy your content. Can I ask you a question that isn't pertinent to this topic at hand, but is still Trek? Yeah, I mean, you didn't have to... I mean, I appreciate the super chats. Thank you so much. But you don't have to super chat just to ask me a question. If you ask me a question, but you don't have to super chat it, just put Lore Reloaded and it'll pop up and I'll see my name and special lights. And we can definitely discuss that. That would be like saying the Federation fell because Sol was destroyed. Well, that's been some of the plots. Continuity wasn't an issue in JJ Trek because they said from the get-go it was going to be different, not like CBS, also called Greebius. Yeah, I mean, it was an issue in JJ Trek because they said it was going to be changed. Buddy Cop with Q and Picard, that would be awesome. I agree. I agree. Plot twist. Picard has been running Section 31 all this time. That would be better than Bashir, which is some theories. But yeah, Alam Adorius. Definitely tell me, and I'll try to address. I'll answer what question you have, depending on the question. What specific continuity concerns do I have? With which? With the Nickelodeon? The Nickelodeon one completely breaks canon. They find right now, it's set that they find a Starfleet ship, a Starfleet vessel, abandoned, and they get on it and go and have adventures. That is not how Starfleet has ever... 7 series, 8 series, not how Starfleet has worked. Lower Decks is supposed to be the lowest of the lows going to the unimportant ships. Star Trek has always been about humanity being the best, humanity being its best, about being important, about making the big decisions. And this is a complete 180 of that. Plot twist, Picard... Oh, what? No, bad Charles Ryan. But yeah, Alam Doria, still waiting. If you want to send the question, james@lorereload.com, you can. But if you'll say it in chat, I'll see it too. Just what question? See, now you got me interested. What question do you have for me, good sir? Howard Gleason, Quantum Leap, did he ever get back? He had the choice of getting back or helping his friend, and he never got back. Quantum Leap had the absolute worst ending on planet Earth. It really is. It made The Sopranos look like just epic... epic story writing. Lore Reload, no, but it's a group of teenagers that find a derelict Starfleet ship. Yes, it is a group of teenagers that find a derelict. That is stupid. That breaks how it has always worked. Frank Risuto joining the channel. Thank you so much. Whatever happened to the worm-like body snatcher aliens from TNG Season 1? Drop that plot thread almost from the jump. Probably the only plot not exploited since TOS. Originally, they were supposed to be the Borg, but that was going to cost a lot when it came to... that was going to cost quite a bit when it came to effects and stuff, so they decided to make them human. Some people say that there's like 50-50 on it, or they're not sure. I feel confident there's enough information. By the way, guys, if you're watching this, please remember to hit that like button. 107 people watching, 54 likes. Tonight, I'll be not Mixer, unfortunately, twitch.tv/Lore Reloaded. Please come by and hang out. It's going to be a different kind of experience. I may be playing some games. We may be talking. We'll have some debates. We can talk about anything you want about there. It doesn't have to just be Trek or sci-fi. And I'm really trying to diversify, so definitely help me out with that, too. If you could, go and check it out. Actually, that was meant to be a cliffhanger for Quantum Leap, was meant to be resolved the next season. Well, it was a pretty horrible... No, good sir. No. They say, specifically in a title card, he never gets home. They say it specifically. Now, that may have been added at the end when it got canceled, but they say, specifically, he never got home. Surf Trektonics, Star Trek cartoon... The Find Takuvma's ship? Maybe. Lore Reloaded, a group of teenagers that find a ship. That's funny. Nickelodeon did the same plot back in the 90s with a show called Space Cases. Yeah, they do that all the time. Now they're just putting a Star Trek. That is generic as you can get for plot. They've done that 1,000 times. They're just putting a Star Trek skin on it, and it doesn't make any sense. There's no reason Starfleet would leave a derelict ship unless they just went in the middle of a battlefield, and even then, we have reason to believe that they don't do that. If anyone sees The Question by Alamandorius, let me know. Lore Reloaded, a group, I already read that. The conspiracy aliens that never came back in TNG were a storyline to do with the Borg. Yep, I had just talked about that. What do you think about the direction of Discovery is going with the future jump? Everything done prior aside. I don't trust Discovery. Discovery, they lied in advertising. The executives lied. I don't really blame the actors because they don't see the whole picture. And I don't necessarily blame the writers either because it was a marketing issue. But they're liars. They're liars. And the show itself does not care about continuity. They do not care. They lie when they say about continuity. So because of that, I am not excited about it. I have been broken. I want it to be better. I'll watch it, and I'm hopeful that they'll change my mind around it. But there's also things that happened in that, and that's what's concerning me too. In Discovery, I think, what is it, 31st century? There's like, well, it's brand new. There's nothing we can do. Have you not watched the actual series? Yes, there are certain things we know that have occurred in the 31st or whatever hell century that they did. We know that. There are certain things that they have to talk about. So I'm not excited about it. It's more defeated. It's like at the end of a really bad abusive relationship when you know it's not going to be any good, but you're still there because you're trying, because you want it to work out. It's exactly what it's like. Alamandorius, was there a Galaxy-class starship at Wolf 359? In recent years, there seem to be some people that believe this, vehemently so, and say that Hansen was commanding it. Growing up, it was understood that he was on the Melbourne. There was no Galaxy-class starship, to my knowledge. I'm 99.999. I'm going to say there wasn't. In fact, I'm 100%. Let's check it out together, but I'm almost 100 that there wasn't. Give me a quick second. What am I looking for? I'm not looking for Memory Alpha. There's one that actually does it better than Memory Alpha. Who the hell are they, man? Astrius Psi. There we go. There was a Nebula class ship there, but there was no Galaxy class. And the reason why, first off, besides it being that, again, thank you so much for assisting the channel. I can't do it without you guys donating like you do. The Galaxy class was extremely rare, and they sent them out to all areas in different directions. And so a Galaxy class could not have actually made it there. Now, people will say that there was a Galaxy class because you see a saucer there, I believe. Maybe. We know a Nebula class was there for sure, and that was the Nebula class they were talking about. There also there wasn't Klingons or Romulans there. That's also something that's very popular that never was there. So there wasn't a Galaxy class. There was a Nebula, and any debris found from that looks like a Galaxy class would be from the poor man's Galaxy class, the Nebula. Weren't there only two technically in service, the Yamato and the Enterprise? No, there were more than two. We see at least three ships, at least three Galaxy-class ships in TNG. And we also, I believe there's dialogue later in TNG to say there was, maybe not 12, I think that was the Constitution, that there was 8 or something like that. But I know we see at least 3. CBS are Buffalo billing a lot of old stories, wearing the skin of good ideas and turning it into a patchwork monstrosity. Welcome to the TV and film industry, my good friend. We got jackets here. As far as I can remember, there was only 3 Galaxy-class ships were in operation. No, there was dialogue that indicates there were more than 3. I want to say 8. Maybe it was 6. I don't remember the exact number, and I don't remember where it was. I just remember they talk about it. I do know we see 3. I mean, we can pick random numbers. It was less than 15. It was definitely less than 12. So maybe if R. McDud's 10 is right, maybe it was 6 or 8 like I thought, or 6 like someone else. Well, let's just throw out random numbers under 15, and one of us is right. The Wolf 358 incident proves that Federation is not post-scarcity. Well, it's really easy to change your mind since Wolf 358 never happened. Wolf 359 definitely occurred, which shows it is post-scarcity. So your mind has been changed. You're welcome. Peace out, Lore. Glad you're streaming again. Keep up the great work. Good to see you, Surf Trektonics. Hope you have a good day. First time making a live chat, Jose Peterson. Well, that's why I'm doing this, because I knew, I was like, is Jose going to be able to make it today? I think he will. So there it is. Not only is there dialogue that say they're post-scarcity, but there are the replicator and everything through deductive logic shows that they are. The one argument you may be able to make, and I'm not really sold on this, but the one argument you may be able to make is that it's kind of a Star Wars type issue where at the middle where you have Earth, you have Vulcan, you have Andoria, it's perfect. They are post-scarcity. And the further you move out, the more the more scarcity there is. That the main planets live in paradise, but all the other ones don't. I don't know, I agree with that. Can you do lore about the dragonfly-shaped ship of the sci-fi show Lex? I don't think I've ever seen Lex. I don't know. Victor Snyder, 13.3222 repeating, I'm assuming? 12 Battlestars, 12 Constitutions, 12 Galaxy. It's been proven. They all copied each other. They all copied each other. That is just proof. What's happening? How are we all? We are all doing well today, guys. By the way, if you're watching this, don't forget to check out twitch.tv/Lore Reloaded. Hit that like button. 103 people watching, 62 likes. Sad. Just sad. Plus, time is a commodity. You need time to build. I mean, at best, the only quote-unquote commodities they had was time. Because, yeah, you're right. They are restricted, and energy, and even energy isn't that bad. I mean, the planets along the demilitarized zone in DS9 looked poor. They were colonies. They were just then colonizing them. I mean, it does take time to build up, which is why I can somewhat be sold or see the reason why people would say or use that. By the way, So that's why I could understand it. I will have my clones hit the like button. Well, good. Thanks, Victor. I appreciate that, buddy. By the way, guys, do you like this new format where I'm right here? I'm actually going to be buying a low-grade DSLR camera so that I can actually make it blurry behind me. But do you guys like this kind of layout? Because I'm trying to make this all kinds of fun for you guys. So let me know if you like it full versus the small that I was doing. Any chance you could do a breakdown of ships from the Halo series? I want to. Actually, I love the Halo series, specifically the books. I think that is the most well-written fiction I've ever seen, is the books. The UFP is an oasis in the Milky Way galaxy. Like any other oasis, resources get thinner the closer to the edge of the oasis you get. Based on some of the games and some of the writing, and maybe dialogue, I could kind of see that. I don't have a. I can really kind of see that. I agree. Based on what you see, so we know that the Cardassians run low on resources. We know that the Klingons run low on resources. So it could be where they were. Jose says Tech Manual says 6 active and 6 reserve galaxies for the very little that's worth. Yeah, Tech Manuals unfortunately are not canon, but it's interesting. I am okay with the layout. It's keeping it low key and relaxed. What do you think about Seven of Nine's changed personality in Picard? In Voyager, her charm was in her literal, almost, I don't know if she was autistic, but I'll read. Almost autistic interpretation of social cues. Now she's a master of subtext and sarcasm. We've talked about this before. We've talked about this before, that it is possible for her character to have gotten there, but it's really hard for us as the audience to see that because we didn't observe it. I don't like it myself necessarily. I think it is somewhat of I'll use the word betrayal, but I'm not sure that I want to of what's been going on. Apparently, the actress says that Seven of Nine changed that way because of the bigoted nature of Starfleet or of the United Federation of Planets. I have a huge issue with that, if that's actually why. And it really does fundamentally change the character. To your point, Seven always talks about how the Borg's collective nature really gave her a sense of strength. It made her who she was, and she gave all that up. I think that's an issue, especially since we never see her get there. You're pretty much the only science fiction's YouTuber without a nerd cred wall behind them. Not sure if that's good or bad. Yeah, I'm trying to work that way because that's what people like. It gets the views, apparently. So I'm just bad at set design. I really suck at it. To be fair, I don't think it's ever mentioned that Klingons have replicators, so I could kind of see them having resource issues. I thought we saw them with replicators. Maybe not. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm calling it what it is. It's turning Seven of Nine into a snarky feminist. I don't know. I don't see that yet. Can you go full green screen and put the Enterprise D bridge behind you? Yes, I will. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to go full green screen and put the Enterprise behind me. Lighting on green screen is just ridiculous. What's going on, Continuum Trek? Hope you're doing well. The Doctor is that way with people. Seven seems to be more at ease with the Doctor than the human crew. Her personal would copy that. I don't think so. Her interactions with the Doctor, while she may feel more comfortable, was still very regimented. Extremely so. Have you seen the Star Trek fan series Star Trek Continues? If so, what'd you think? I liked it fair enough. I wish they would have done more recent stuff, but it was decent. It was done well. I actually do a breakdown of someone asked about Firefly. I have Firefly videos on my channel right now. I do Firefly lore. I have some of Star Trek Continues lore broken down too. I seem to recall Klingons having replicators. I kind of want to think that too. Will Lozen, Scotty had to replace the Klingon food packs in Star Trek 4. Okay. I rather enjoy the sincere feeling background and lack of nerd cred wall. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to start doing more with it, putting lighting and everything. I've got some blue and red lighting. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know how I'm going to go with it. It's going to be me, though. I'm not going to just copy to copy, because that's the way it is. If I'm going to be darned, as they say, I'm going to be darned for who I am. Well, what happened in Star Trek 4 doesn't mean what happens in The Next Generation. In The Next Generation, the first season, definitely, second season, I believe, has the Klingon Empire as a part of Starfleet. So, would be cool you sitting at the helm of the Enterprise bridge talking. I might do that once for fun, but I don't want to do green screens forever. I played a video game when I was younger, and Klingons had replicators. Well, that just proves everything then. There we go. Hey, what's up from Quebec? To thine own self be true. That is true. That is absolutely, it is key. It is vital. Vital. Wow, my computer just freaked out. Everything went red. I should not talk that loud. That was just sad. It was a sad moment for me. So I'm just going to release that from the VOD. It's gone. Peter Haig, who are we talking about? Yeah, no, they're not capitalists because they don't exchange money for goods. I guess Peter Haig is like 60 minutes behind. They are in a post-scarcity. They definitively are. They have industrial replicators. They have replicators. Jean-Luc Picard is constantly talking about how they don't need money anymore. The Federation exists for people just to do what they want. It is not. They are post scarcity according to the dialogue and the way things work. They just are. Now, I mean, what system are they in? Are they fascists, communists, capitalists without capital somehow? I don't know. And they don't. DS9. Jake talks about that he doesn't have money. He has no concept of bartering. Jake Sisto, a civilian of the Federation, has no concept of bartering. That means that they are post-scarcity. There is no want. He doesn't know how to get. He would be dead in a capitalist society. Do you like 40K? I have done several videos on 40K. If so, have you checked out the Astartes short videos? I have not. Also, I think you'd like Free Space and FS2. Lots of lore for a game. I'll take a look at it. Ala Mendorius, thanks so much for the chat. I'll take a look at it. I have not seen those. I'll tell you who I do like. Is it Black Pants Legion? I'm actually doing a collaboration with him next week, I hope. What is it? I don't think it's Black Pants Legion. Maybe. Yeah, Black Pants Legion. Excellent channel. Check him out. Completely undersubbed. I'll check out Astartes too. Picard can be wrong. Private industry and corporations are rampant. No, first off, Picard is not wrong. He's not, because we see other characters in the Next Generation and Deep Space Nine confirm that they don't have to worry about money and that it is post-scarcity. What's his name? Sisko. I can't believe I forgot Sisko. Sisko calls it paradise and that you don't need anything. And people get confused here. So let's address that. Jason Link, Kirk sold a house, Scotty bought a boat. So, And then you have Cinema Cowboy saying Jason, exactly. All right, so here's what we're going to go. Here we go. All right, are you guys ready? Hold on. I need everyone to put 1 in the chat because I'm about to blow your minds. All right, here we go. Are we ready? Hit 1 in the chat. Here we go. Wait for it. I'm going to wait because there's like a 6-minute delay. But hit 1 in the chat when you're ready. As soon as I start seeing 1s, we're going to start this thought experiment. Okay, are you guys ready? All right. I'm a little scared because I don't know that we're going to be able to get this taken care of, but I think that we are. I think we're going to be able to do it. All right. Breathe. Waiting for the 1s because I know you guys can do this. You got this. You're smart. All right. So I'm starting to see the 1s. All right, here we go. I'm ready, Daddy. Good Cowboy Cinema. I'm glad we're ready. All right. Here we go. Here we go. What era was Kirk a part of and Scotty a part of? Now I know there's going to be a 6-minute delay, so I'm going to keep going. What era was Picard, Sisko, and Janeway and Kirk a part of? All right. So once we've got that, do you think 100 years can make a difference, or over 100 years? It is 23rd to 24th century, 1,000 years. Yeah, I think. I'm not good at math. 23rd century. Thank you. 23rd century. Good. Now we're going to wait for the next era. So in the 23rd century, I would agree that they had money and they talked about credits. You even have McCoy saying that he would give real money. Now, with Picard, that is the 24th century. Now, there's a couple of season 1 episodes. in TNG, where they talk about taking you out on a date or paying for something. After those episodes, mid-season 1 till infinitum, until the end of time, mid-season 1 till forever, until a new series comes out, it is post-scarcity, there is no economy in that way. At all. Now, let's go ahead and hit some of the things that I'm already seeing people come up with. First thing is, Bison Hawk 1, helping out the channel. Thank you so much. They had transporter credits were mentioned in Deep Space Nine. Not exactly sure what you're talking about. I believe think you're talking about civilians talking and not Starfleet officers. Deep Space Nine is a Bajoran station that does not have all of the abilities or resources that the Federation has. Economies exist. We have the Ferengi. You can't say that economies don't exist. Economies exist in non-Starfleet and Federation origins. That said, I do think that Starfleet keeps some money on hand because we see them interact. Oh my God. There was an economy in Voyage. Please tell me. Please tell me that you don't seriously believe that rationing power on a ship, especially Voyager that's lost, but on any ship, is akin to how an entire government or nation is run. Please tell me that you know the difference between having to ration time and energy on a ship that can't create it, how that's different from a government. You're trolling me. And I agree. That's why I included Voyager in my example hidden trailer video. Paris did say that money went the way of the dinosaur, and Fort Knox became a museum after the one government came about in the 21st. Yeah, I don't know about 21st century, but it did come about. That's still scarcity. Okay. You beat me. You won, Cowboy Cinema. There is scarcity if that's how you define it. You're right. I can't beat you on that. Money is just a rationing mechanism. We're talking about post-scarcity. Post-scarcity definition. What is post-scarcity? Post-scarcity is an economy where things that people need and value can be provided without labor. The term implies that material inputs are also abundant, possibly due to circular economy, whereby all things are reused and recycled. A post-scarcity economy has several implications. Wealth. People wouldn't need to store wealth for retirement. It is possible that the property rights would be irreverent, or non-existent. Well, that's possible. All right, so we're talking about a post-scarcity society as defined by simplicable.com. It's an economy where things people don't need and value can be provided without labor. Right now, they're in an economy where things can be provided without labor due to replicators. People don't need to store wealth for retirement. They don't have money, so they meet that. Labor. Human labor might be redirected into education, artistic pursuits, or to game-based competition, such as sports and video games. The human labor that we see is redirected. They have teachers, artistic pursuits, possibly like Cisco's dad's place, and they also go and they become explorers because that's what they want to do. Game-based competition. We see some sports and stuff. Video games, I don't think we ever see. A holodeck, I guess, could be a video game. Post-scarcity environment. Post-scarcity implies that the environmental problems are resolved as the environment is a scarce resource. They control their own weather. Space. Post-scarcity could potentially enable or result from exploration and colonization of space on a vast scale. The entire show is based on exploration and colonization. Let's keep going. Wants and needs. Post-scarcity could occur due to a change in the things that people value. Current ideas about possessions might seem absurd to people in a post-scarcity society. I think you can prove in DS9 with Jake, where he doesn't understand how the bartering system is and doesn't value the stem bolts and things like that either. How is it not a post-scarcity, at least based on simplicable.com? By the way, so you guys can see where I'm going. Oh, I can't do that because hold on. I gotta go do it in here. Bam! Schronmore, that definition pretty much describes the Federation, at least in its core. I agree. Let me see what you guys are saying. What energy does Replicator work on, and are there limits on it? So when it comes to the Replicator, in the original series, those weren't actually replicators. Those, I forget what they were called, but they weren't replicators. They were dispensers of a kind, where they took a material, a matter, and changed it to whatever they wanted it to be. In the Next Generation, it actually was a replicator. It created something from nothing, quite literally. But they do use energy. The energy reserves comes from the... it has to be something powerful, like a warp core or a fusion reactor. But that's how they go. Ryan K., I do know in an episode or two it was mentioned that some things can't be replicated. Generally, the things that couldn't be replicated was like medicines and stuff like that. And the only reason that they did that is because they had to find a way to work around it. And the writers hated replicators. Most of that is completely done away with in Voyager. They talk about how the replicators got more powerful. Elemendorius helping out the channel saying apparently the OK symbol, that one I guess, has been officially added to the civil rights database of hate symbols, just in case you need an excuse to facepalm. That is stupid. Well, I guess President Obama is a racist guy that hates people, I guess. They weren't called dispensers. I forget what they were called, but they effectively were dispensers. They took matter, and they changed it into whatever you want. The replicators literally take energy. God, I need to get laid, says Bison Hawk. What'd you say that needs you to get laid? You and me both, buddy. I always need to get laid. But America's money is fiat money. Okay, I don't know why. The only limited resource in the Federation is manpower. It's people. I don't even think that with replicators and stuff. I mean, until you get into the war, manpower wasn't. Until you get into the war, I don't think manpower is as big an issue. It really comes down to energy and time, and they have tons of energy. Resequencers, that's what they were called. But what they do is rearrange single atoms instead of converting matter to energy to matter. What? TOS had protein sequences. What I never could understand is that if the Voyager had fusion generators works on hydrogen, why do they have food rations? What I never could understand is that if the Voyager had fusion generators on hydrogen, why did they have food rations? I don't know. It's freaking stupid. How do these people expect to be taken seriously? I'm a Star Trek god. Proceeded. I need to get... I got you. If you guys responded to me while I was reading that, it all went by too fast. So if I didn't address something, let me know. Just looking back, Cinema Cowboy, artistic projects themselves would be scarce and require markets. If you define it as... I can't beat that argument. That argument... And I don't mean this derogatory, but that argument is like saying, I know God exists because I feel him in my heart and I have a personal connection with him. I can't beat that argument. You win. So if for you, scarcity means at least something is scarce. If it's so defined that, if there's only one painting in the world and not everyone can have it and only one person can own it, we don't live in a post-scarcity. They don't live in a post-scarcity society. I can't beat that. I think you're being too. I think you're going too deep in on it. I would. Okay, Cinema Cowboy. If that's not what you're saying, can you clarify for me? Because I can't. Because the way I'm understanding it, I can't beat that. Walter Mick, the war is what proved that point. Starfleet could only build their ships as fast as they had trained the people to build them. Not necessarily. I mean, again, post-scarcity doesn't mean that you don't take time to build stuff. It just means that you're not limited generally by resources. Their industrial capacity is staggering, but it can be very easily drained, Walter MC. I would say that. I would agree with that. Until they built up. I mean, the post-Dominion war machine is devastatingly scary. The Federation could have gone on to basically own the Alpha Quadrant. It's scary as hell. Honestly, the way the way Starfleet looks at the end of the Dominion War breaks all continuity with all these future episodes we see with Starfleet losing. I was responding to your God in my heart tangent, which was strange. Cinema Cowboy, I'm just giving you an example. Like, if you do an argument to the point that is so refined that it can't be at some point general, there's no argument to be had. I can't tell someone if God's in their heart, God doesn't exist, because I can't prove that God's not actually in their heart. I can't tell you that we live in a post-scarcity. I can't tell you that we live in a post-scarcity society if, like, this piece of trash right here, only I have it and no one else can have it. That's, by your definition, scarcity. I can't disprove that if we're that definitive. For the record, I fully believe in God and do understand that God is in my heart, and is not a good argument to convince those who do not believe. I wasn't, just for the record on my side, I wasn't putting down anybody or anything like that, nor was I saying God exists or does not exist. I was giving an example of an argument that you just cannot refute. I would also agree, as proven 22 times says, it's a fantasy economics based on the best ideals. The economics within the universe don't even work, even if it was supposed to be the perfect post-scarcity utopia, and we all agreed that it was post-scarcity, it still is. This might be a stupid question, but why couldn't the Federation literally replicate replacement ships? I mean, what's preventing it? Well, first off, some people would disagree with you. We can observe scarcity, but we can't observe God. Go look up, what's his name? Citations Bruggencate. And then don't kill yourself. I'm not telling you to kill yourself. Don't kill yourself because you're watching Citations Bruggencate, because that's what a lot of people want to do. Because they watch Citations Bruggencate. Don't harm yourself. I'm not saying that. They came out wrong. This might be a stupid question, but why couldn't the Federation literally replicate replacement ships? I mean, what's preventing it? They don't have replicators that are that large, and plus it would be pretty complicated, I'd imagine. Additionally, what they're replicating, they do have some, especially like Voyager, has biological components that I think would be hard. Meh, it's just best to realize that Star Trek economy runs on fairy dust. That is absolutely true. Is that a starbase? No, it's a replicator. I'm not, Cinema Cowboy, I am not going to give you a link to Citations Bruggencate, because I would not directly harm you. I'll tell you to go out and harm yourself, but I won't actually be the one that gives you the weapon to do so. Just look up Citations, or his argument is something special. Bioneural gel packs. That's right. Quantum torpedoes and several other components cannot be replicated. In theory, even though dilithium can't be replicated, in theory, you could create the ship sans, antimatter, and dilithium. I think replicating ships was addressed in Star Trek TNG technical manual. Okay. I believe they replicate the parts and then assemble. They do. They do that. But I don't think dilithium can be replicated, but restructured. Correct. Imagine if Starfleet could replicate planets. They can with the Genesis weapon. They can replicate all of the planets you need, baby. Can you tell me how to spell it? I've never heard of how to spell. It's Citin Bruggencate is the name of the guy. Citin Bruggencate. Maybe there is no scarcity for the major of common items and resources, but a market might still exist for things like dilithium and handcrafted items. Post-scarcity... You guys are trying to argue two different things. Okay? This is a bottle. It has a Coca-Cola symbol on it. It's made of plastic. We're all right. All of us are right. They live in a post-scarcity society. They still have a market for things. There are still things that they somehow figure out how to trade and buy. We're both right. If you define post-scarcity as what most people define it as, which again means it's an economy where things that people need and value can be provided without labor. There really isn't a lot of labor. And honestly, the ships wouldn't need to have labor either. They could have robots do it if they wanted to. They just want to do it. You're going to end up breaking lore. Stop. Yeah, I'm probably going to get banned because it's a thing. Wait a second. That's a grenade. That'd be funny. He's like, no, that's not plastic at all. That's a grenade, you idiot. With all the advanced beings out there, who could have been our creator? After the Dominion War, you're right, the United Federation planet was scarce on personnel. Yeah, I would say. They might have had a scarcity problem at that point. I am Hugbox related. That is correct. Hugbox related. Called it. Got him! What was the question? Oh, when it comes to God, yeah. So I think there is a really good argument for why humanity and generally Starfleet is secularist or atheist, and that's because everything we see in the universe has aliens that have the ability of gods. And so when you see all these aliens that can do what is considered like a godlike thing, you really stop thinking that it actually existed. Additionally, whether they're post-scarcity or not, a lot of the Federation lives the high life. They live in paradise. And at least for humans, we know the more rich you are, the less want you have, the less likely you are to believe in a god or gods, generally. So it makes sense why they don't believe, starting in the 24th century, moving on. Yes, I know there was a church on the Constitution class. Please, let's not go back into that. I'm talking about 24th century on. No, Picard does not believe in it. You are a troll, Cinema Cowboy. I need a drink. I'll be right back. Picard has several, multiple episodes where he doesn't believe in gods at all. He has talked against religion and faith. Who Watches the Watchers is the most known, but through TNG into the movies, he has talked about there not being a god. The only thing people can yes, and we're about to get to it. The only thing people can ever relate to is that you see a Christmas tree. I don't believe in God and I have a Christmas tree. I have several friends who don't believe in God, and they have a Christmas tree. A Christmas tree does not mean you believe in God. If you are a Christian and you think the only thing you need is a Christmas tree to be a Christian, I'm about to blow your minds. There's this little thing called the Bible. And it's about, 52 books or 70 books or something in it. It's like a compendium. And I guarantee you in that you will not find a requirement that a Christmas tree, it has to be there to believe in God. Kirk, I don't know if Kirk believed in a God either. That one I'm less on. Scotty was an atheist for sure. We know. Kirk did believe. I don't know if Kirk believed in a God or not. Scotty talked about being an atheist. The good book, says Howard Gleason. All right, let's not put down religions or anything. We're not going to address that. Can we stop giving a voice to evangelizing religious peoples in this forum? Alexander, you've been with the channel a long while. I like you, but I'm going to say no. I mean, we can have a discussion on it if it's science fiction related. I honestly don't care what people believe. And if it's related, Christianity, Buddhism, Jewish, it's related to what happens in Star Trek. I mean, I don't want to put it down. And you're right, this channel isn't meant to turn people to the glories of God, but I mean, we can talk about it to a degree. I'll take the feedback though. I mean, I really like you, man. We've talked back and forth, so I hope that doesn't cause you to leave the channel, but I don't think so. Yeah, so Cinema Cowboy. I don't want to get confused. I'm talking to like 4 people at once or like 20 people at once, so I'm sorry if it gets confusing. Someone else brought up the Christmas tree. There's nowhere that Picard, to my knowledge, talks about being religious. And even if you could point out one specific instance where he talks about being religious, all of TNG and in some of the movies, he's quite clearly atheist. And so those would just be continuity gaffes. He is atheist. Picard, 100% atheist. That's not putting anything down. That's not being proactive or anything. I honestly don't like the kind of atheist that Picard is. I think he is the worst of the worst when it comes to people who are atheist or secular. He is what Christians talk about when you talk about bad atheists that take something and refute gods and then exchange it for something else. I don't like that. I don't like his character in that reference. But that is just the way it is. Alexander, nope. Opinions are always good. Just a respectful disagreement. Well, I'll take the feedback, Alexander. I thank you so much, and thank you for supporting the channel. I appreciate it. I will take the feedback, and I'll consider it. So yeah, you guys who are watching this. So here's the thing: I get animated. Like this is just my personality. I'm not like crazy upset or anything. But if I disagree or you say something that really gets me, it's just the way I am. I mean, you're saying you're not meaning to get me mad. You see, it impacted me in such a negative way. You can see how horrible I am now. But this is just who I am, guys. But yeah, I mean, the point of this isn't necessarily, again, to evangelize. It's just, we're having a discussion. I can honestly see, though, I mean, like Deep Space Nine. Let's talk about this. Deep Space Nine, I think, tried to correct the sins of TNG. Okay, so where does the best place to find Picard's view on religion is to watch Who Watches the Watchers. I think that's a season 1 episode in TNG. But DS9, I think, Rob Nix unsubscribed. Well, that's unfortunate. DS9, I think, handled religion very well. You take Cisco, who was an atheist, who becomes religious, and even turns off other people from Starfleet. It's interesting. Then Proposed Season 8 just throws that all out. Nick Mello, are you hitting 1 because you think that I asked to hit 1 for the 24th century thing? You know, Alexander, if you're still here, and you don't have to give anything, I'd be interested, if you can answer this. Alexander, hey, can you Do you like discussions of religion at all when it comes to science fiction or on this channel? If you're still listening, Alexander Hagen, I'm really curious. Immortal super being. Picard, I don't believe in God. Q, hi, what's up? And then Picard, nanny, because that's what you do in anime. Everyone believes in something. Differences shouldn't rip people apart. Similarities should bring us together. Yeah, I wish that's the way that worked. That was what the whole conversation started out as. Justin... See, Justice Ag is trying to trigger me. Justin Ag is trying to piss me off. Cinema Cowboy, I think you're being honest. I think Justice Ag is just wanting to see me go and get another drink, this time a little bit stronger. He calls them myth and delusion and how they moved out of it when they became atheists in science. But you know what? That's fine. That's whatever. You're right. You know, that is your TTS turned down? I'm listening on just headphones, just barely heard it. It was just the background noise. Is my TTS turned down? What? No, those weren't TTSs. I don't think I got a TTS recently. I don't think so. I'm having an issue with it. So if you did a TTS and I didn't say it, please let me know. I'm sorry if not. This new layout, I had to reset everything, so maybe I said it wrong. So here's an interesting thing when it comes to just talking about religion in the Star Trek universe. Justice Ag, am I doing a good job? Yeah, you're triggering the hell out of me, man. You're doing very well. The Star Trek, here's what happened. Based on looking at in the real world. So when, I don't know if Gene was as big an atheist, in the 60s as he definitely was in the 80s and 90s. And so in the 60s, it was very, very conservative, and there was a couple of things you had to do. Howard Gleason to put towards bourbon. I really am going to go buy me a huge. Actually, yeah, this is where I get my coffee, is Circle K. I don't get any free coffee, though. Unless you're there, Victor, then I'll stop by there and get free coffee from you. In the 60s, Gene likes to tell people that he had a lot of impact, that he did all of these things. Gene didn't really have a lot of control in the original series. He didn't. You can go look it up. He did some good things. He pushed for some things, but he didn't have a massive amount of control. The reason why we have churches, we have religions, the reason why there was a lot of military, how it was considered a military. These were all things that Gene really would have fought against. He definitely did in TNG. And they were there, especially the military thing. They were there because he was overridden by the executives. The executives told him what they were going to do on that. And you can really see what he wanted to happen, what he wanted to have in season 1 and season 2 of The Next Generation. Star Trek had become such a behemoth. It had become so powerful that he was able to tell the execs what was going to happen. So in the original series, you had religion, you had church, you had faith, even though I think you could argue that they put down faith a lot in that. They low-key insulted it. But you had faith. In The Next Generation, that's all wiped away, with Picard talking about how horrible religion is. He hated the military. Picard calls a uniformed man a costume. Just outright, in my opinion, horrific stuff. Horrific. I don't know how to say horrific stuff. I strongly disagree with. So season 1 and season 2 really was what Gene wanted. And so that's why there's such a disconnect between the original series and The Next Generation. Cinema Cowboy, Gene needed people to tell him no. Same with George Lucas. I have said that for a long time, and I do think that. I think Gene and George created wonderful, expansive, just amazing universes. But I do think they needed other people to populate it. Because that happened with George too, right? I mean, just take a look at the original series, the original movies, right? A lot of that George fought, and he was told by the executives, you have to have X, you have to have Y, you have to have Z, you have to have this writer writing with you. And then Star Wars became so powerful that he wrote the prequels himself. Will Lozun, keep in mind Gene was in the military. He hated the military, Will. He couldn't stand it. Maybe because he was in it. I don't know why. But he talks about how he hates it a lot. And he puts it down any chance he gets when he's not being told by an exec a lot. Now, he was in the military. I can respect that he was in the military. And I would say that he has a better understanding. Yes, even though I have a military family. Most all of my family's in the military. I'm the black sheep when it comes to that. I'd even say then he has a better understanding of what the military is than me. But I think he's wrong on this, even with his more educated opinions. And he definitively just didn't like it. Howard Gleason, but I love the prequels. You can't trigger me on Star Wars yet. Justin, because in Earth's history, religion has caused some atrocity. Why are we talking about atrocity? What? When it comes to, I'll say this specifically. Humans are going to do what humans are going to do, and they'll use whatever they have to do it, whatever their core belief is. So that's why I don't like religion does this or whatever. I mean, atheism does it just as much. I don't look at that at all myself. What's weird is Picard didn't do a lot of fighting during the Dominion War. We don't really see what happened with Picard all that much, especially in canon. Got to run, everyone. Had a good day. Talk to you later, Intereth. I'll be here tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. But I'll be here on Saturday for sure. Check me out tonight. Twitch.tv/LawReload. It's going to be way different than this, though. Howard Gleason triggering you. I'm just kidding, man. Lore, somebody asked why the Federation hated religion so much. That's what I was trying to address. Got you. Well, and again, I don't think they hated it. I just think, again, when you deal with the Q and stuff like that, or what they dealt with in TOS, it's just easy to not believe that a God exists, because why isn't it just another alien doing alien-like stuff, you know? So I kind of get why people don't really go there, you know? There are 4 novels that tells where Picard Enterprise was during the Dominion War. Sure, but I'm talking about in canon. In canon, we don't know. So there was this person who was getting on to me about trigger, because I did a thing with a gun and I had bad trigger. What the hell it is called? I'm so tired. Trigger discipline, and I was really just trolling them to see how much I could get them to comment, and I either angered or inspired them so much they're now pinging me on Twitter. I love that. Give me all of your attention. I need a place where it's rent free. Gotta go, bro. Talk to you later, Base Not. Yeah, the Enterprise. To your point, I'm sorry, I got sidetracked. I always imagined that the Enterprise and Picard and them were sent more, because the Sovereign would have existed at that point. Existed more as either defense or to reassure Federation planets. In my opinion, I think that you have the good and the bad. Otherwise, it just feels like something is missing. Sure. What are you? Can you expand on that, drunken wizard? I don't disagree. Starfleet had the knack of sending the Enterprise away during wars. You did, didn't it? I didn't even think about that. I mean, we don't have any canon on that, so we don't know. Maybe maybe they did fight, but yeah, I mean, yeah, this one's a woman. She's just all about. I'm just having fun with her now. Yeah, they did. They always send the Enterprise away. Thanks for another interesting discussion. Oh, Alexander, can you answer my question real quick? Alexander, answer my question. Because I sent you a question, and I never saw you answer, if you did. Did you get the warnings from Macross fans? You asked me that before. I'm sorry I didn't address that. What warnings specifically are you talking about? I actually already have my today's video up, and it hasn't been hit yet. Let me take a look. I only use still images. If they hit me on still images, I'll take them to court. I'll gladly see them in court. I'll do that all day. All day. Just do it. Come on. I want that. Come on. Be on CNN, Fox News. Oh man, I know how to make something look bad. But no, I haven't gotten hit yet. If you're talking about DMCA's. What's going on, Admiral Balefire? Why send the Enterprise into war? It almost seems to break down in a crisis. That's true. The Galaxy class sucked in fights. Generally. I mean, it was powerful, but it was a glass cannon, man. Ever get past those shields? It is gone, Admiral Balefire. Insurrection took place during the Dominion War, and it seemed like Picard was mostly tasked with diplomatic assignments. Yeah. I mean, we don't have a ton of information, but it does seem like that's what they use the Sovereign for, which would make sense. What about Pike and Sisko? What about Pike and Sisko? I love Pike and Sisko. I like Lorca. What's up? What do you want? You want to be petted? Don't put your claws in me. Just playing Star Trek Online? Woot. To be fair, we really can't say what Picard did during the war, as we only see the war from Sisko and crew. Yeah, I don't know what they did. I like Pike. I like Sisko. Lorca, before they destroyed his character, I like. Oh yeah, this is a Flurkin. I forgot about that. The D was an explorer ship, not a warship like the E. See, that is due to Federation and Starfleet pacifism, because it was used as a warship. It was used for defense. It was the first line of defense. This was the ship that they wanted to fight with too. And so it doesn't make a ton of sense, you know? Here's some money to help get a haircut. Thank you, /.-121. I appreciate that, because I need a haircut. And so the fact that you want to help me get one, makes me feel good. Thank you. I tell my cat that all the time. The claws did a heartbeat later. Yeah, when I pet him. So when I pet my cat, which I'm doing right now, when I pet him, it feels really good and he likes it. So he brings his claws in because he's just enjoying it. And that hurts. I don't like that. Janeway is my favorite anti-hero too. I think she's one of the most perfect villains in Voyager. I'm not sure why you say other people don't like her. I remember there was a case of a guy posting still frames from a movie. Next frame, they had problems taking him down, but eventually got him down. Now they can try. They can try it. They're welcome to come at me. I make a joke about Harmony Gold. Here's some more to help me get fruit and buy vegetables. Thank you. I appreciate that. I play Star Trek Online ever so often. I love Star Trek Armada. If you want to watch me play Star Trek games, I'm not doing it all the time. But I am actually looking at getting some, playing some Star Trek Armada, playing some Bridge Commander at twitch.tv/lore reloaded. Now, the Twitch is going to be a little bit different. Some of it's going to be chill. Some of it's going to have people. We're going to talk about all kinds of things. So it's not me dancing for you like I am right now. This is speculation, but definitely check out there because I'll be playing games there. And, some of you guys can come on and play with me sometimes. That'll be fun. I don't think she's a villain at all. I disagree a lot with your assessment of Janeway. Well, it's probably not the first time you've ever been wrong, Cinema Cowboy. So, I mean, I understand. Yeah, but didn't they want to capture the Galaxy class? Not really destroy it? Who wanted to capture the Galaxy class? I assume you're talking to somebody else. Because they already knew about the Galaxy class firepower in the Neutral Zone episode. We already saw too. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Spock's death in T-Walk was leaked, so that's why they had him killed during the Kobayashi Maru simulator in the first scene. Spock's death in T-Walk was leaked. Huh. Okay, well, I didn't know that. Especially since Starship Combat didn't exactly seem to be Picard's strong suit. Oh, wow. He was all right. He wasn't a bad tactician. All right, guys, we're going to be ending this very shortly. I got to get this up to 2 hours, though. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I can't dance that long. I'd watch you play STA 3, Star Trek Academy 3. I'll play it, yeah. The modded version. Whenever someone brings up Galaxy-class ships fighting, I think of the Odyssey getting hammered by the Jem'Hadar. Well, it's not just the Odyssey getting hammered by the Jem'Hadar, but it's the Enterprise D getting destroyed by a bird of prey, an old bird of prey. I don't care if they could bypass the shields. You're telling me a 24th century ship can't take on a 22nd, 23rd century ship even without shields? That's like saying a frigate during the Civil War can take out a, oh hell, I don't know, battle cruiser in the 21st century. Really? Or 20th century? Really? 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 Are you serious? Really? Then he came to realize how important Spock was to the fans, and he relented and came back. Well, I knew that he didn't want to. That's why he killed Spock off, and then decided to come back. I know he wanted Spock to actually be dead. Yeah, Odyssey got hit pretty hard. I really think they were heroes. I kind of break that down in my video. I really think that the Odyssey, they were heroes. They sacrificed their lives to save Sisko and co. Now, you could argue, are 3 officers worth it? But that's what they did. They sent 2 warbirds to meet up with the Galaxy-class Enterprise D. I, too, hated the Enterprise D was destroyed on Generations using Geordi's glasses. It just makes no sense. It makes no sense at all. It does not jive. There is no way a ship that old should be able to take out the Galaxy class like it did unless there are vital flaws in the Galaxy class. Unless it just can't take hits. It is a glass cannon. For its size, we see the Galaxy class, its shields, take a hell of a beating. It has some of the most advanced defensive systems in shielding that we've ever seen. It really can't. But once you bypass those shields, and maybe that's why the shields are so strong, because once you bypass the shields, baby, bam, that is a destroyed. All you need is a runabout and somebody that can look out a window, and you've won the war. Because that thing is blowing up, baby. Once shields fall, that Galaxy class is destroying. It could be space debris. It could be someone that just jumps out of their ship and just hits it, like the body, just the fleshy body, just like that, and destroys it. Once those shields go down, that thing is useless. That thing is dying. Would you say Picard's closest religion experience is when Q lets him change his own past? Maybe. Or maybe I would say when when that probe put all those things into his mind. Well, in that itself, did they forget to scan Geordi's visors? Because Geordi's visor has been used in the past. They used it to brainwash him in TNG, and it's been used by enemies in the past. So the fact that they got past it on that is troubling, too. They never think to look at the visor. Because, again, there are episodes where it's been addressed. But, yeah, I'm on Twitch tonight, twitch.tv/LowerReloaded, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Some people have said that. Some people have said that the engineering section, I forget what the fatal flaw is, but they said the way it was designed, that it just couldn't handle damage when you hit. And what's funny about that is supposed to be the battle part of it. So you do see it get hit in the same spot. You do see it get hit in the engineering section, but that's supposed to be the part that actually fights with all of the families in the saucer section. That's supposed to be the toughest part. I know this is a Star Trek channel. Onikitsu, I know this is a Star Trek channel. I just want to say thank you for the B5 work you have done. I'm doing more B5. I don't only want to be Star Trek. I've said this a long time. I know Star Trek is what I do. I know that's why everyone comes. 60,000 people, most all of them Star Trek fans, and that's all they want to see me do. And I get it. That's fine. I love Star Trek. I don't mind doing it. But I would love more to be a science fiction channel than just Star Trek. I know how my bread's buttered, don't get me wrong, but I'm glad you like it. I'll have more coming out, and I would love to do it where I did Star Trek like 3 times a week and everything else before that. Yeah, I mean lore channel, but science fiction is really where it's at for me. I'd love to be just lore, but there's no way. I gotta do science. Something, there has to be a ship in space or nobody's watching. I have done the Expanse, actually. I have a couple of Expanse videos out. I'd like to do more. But I have actually done the Expanse as well. I got a Battletech. I talked about this, Axe. I got a Battletech coming out with techs very shortly. All right, guys. I think that's where we're going to end it. Thank you so much for watching. In the next couple of minutes, I'll actually be releasing my video for Robotech. And that'll be a fun-filled experience. So I take shots at Harmony Gold. If that makes you feel better, I think you guys are going to enjoy that. Thanks so much for watching. Go to twitch.tv/Lore Reloaded. I want you to hit that button, and I want you to hit notifications so you get it. Hit the bell to notify here. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Guys, I'm going to see you on the next.